Hey everybody, it's David Oaknout Farm. About midway through the winter this year, the tailgate on my pickup truck decided to fail, and it got stuck shut basically. So I took it off and tossed it aside and decided I would deal with it in the spring. Well, guess what? The snow's gone. It's time to deal with the tailgate. Old Chevy tailgate assembly. Now, what happens when these get older is all the mechanisms get kind of loose and sloppy, and one of two things happens. Either there's just too much play in it, so that when you lift this lever, the little latches on each side over here don't retract enough to actually release from the pickup truck, or some of the little guts down in here get screwy, and one of the little pull rods falls apart. Okay, now this is the general mechanism. You have a latch with a pull rod, and these are spring loaded, so all the retraction mechanism is done here. That's what pulls the handle back in, and over here at the handle, as you lift, let's see if I can film this well that you can see it. As you lift the handle, it pushes down on this little plate, which now, if I look from the top, it makes these two levers pull together, which basically pulls these two rods towards each other to open the tailgate. And basically what happens is, over time, with all the slop in here, these actually no longer retract quite far enough to clear enough that I can open the tailgate. So we need to do a little modification. And I came up with something that I think is going to work pretty easy. Okay, so the general solution to this problem is I basically have to shorten this linkage by an 1/8 inch or a 1/4 inch per side, and that's really all I have to do. I've seen people say they just take this rod and put a big bend in it. That takes the slack out. But what I'm going to do is I have this slot here. I'm going to fill weld about half of this slot closed, so that's going to add 3/16 worth of material here, which will take 3/16 of slop out of this linkage, basically. I filled in most of the crack, so instead of having that much slop, I've got that little hole now, and that should, like I said, take about 3/16 or so, basically, of length out of each side. Okay, everyone, this is something I wanted to show you. If you do have a Chevy and your tailgate ever becomes stuck shut and you can't open it, you see you have the two push rods you have seen before. Basically, you have to pull those two push rods together, pinch them together. Here, in my case, they're actually still in the levers, so I would put my hand under here, grab those two metal levers, and just pinch them together. If one of those white plastic clips is broken, you'll have a loose rod in there somewhere, but basically that's what you're doing, is you're pulling those two rods together, just pinching those two rods together towards the center is your goal. You might need a couple pairs of pliers or something, but that's the general gist of how you get out of that predicament. And now there's no play at all. Like when I try and wiggle this, there's absolutely zero play left in the handle. There used to be a bunch of play. And looking at the catches now, when I pull the lever up, the catch goes fully back into the tailgate. Pretty much that easy. It takes more time to disassemble and reassemble everything and set up the welder and tear down the welder and all that stuff than it does to actually put the two little spot welds on there that I actually needed to do. So, things in life, folks. Yeah. Not right. Something else. We gotta find something else to fix. Talk to all y'all later.